I cannot believe that the diaspora is choosing the wrong countries in Africa, and it is costing them thousands of dollars when they choose these countries that, one, do not have the type of resident stability they need, two, are too corrupt, or three, just do not have the proper infrastructure for a retiree, for an investor, for an entrepreneur who is serious about their move abroad. Not somebody that wants to bounce around every 30, 60, 90 days, but somebody's like, hey, where can I plant roots in the next 5 to 10 years? This is what we help our clients do, We've been meeting some of our clients in person recently, and they say, the reason I'm choosing one of these top 3 countries that I'm about to go through and tell you is because they give me the option of 5 to 10 year residence. And that doesn't mean you have to stay there forever because, you don't plan on just never moving again or never traveling. But it does mean that you have somewhere that's a true home base where you have acquired residency outside of America instead of just being a tourist indefinitely. So going to a Nigeria, a South Africa, even a Congo looks good on paper. But for you as an American, you need to identify the countries that give you the best opportunities in 2026 and beyond. And they are none other than Ghana, Mauritius, and Rwanda. And I'm going to break down why with about 5 to 7 statistics. Then I want to go through and tell you which entity types you have in your optionality to choose from for these countries. Now, this is based on our curriculum and the State of the Diaspora Business Intel. We are in the trenches, working with expats, entrepreneurs, retirees who want stability across the world, but mostly a home base in Africa, or they want to spend some time on the continent of Africa to figure out how to expand outside of America without all of the stress that comes with relocating without understanding the nuance with a big decision like this. So my first 2 points are the fact that Mauritius has a retirement permit that lasts 10 years, renewable to 20 years. Now, you will not find anything on the continent of Africa that's like that. Number 2, we also have a premium visa, but here's a disclaimer. The premium visa is being phased out, so you would have to switch to a self-employed entrepreneur, also a 10-year permit. Or if you're over 50, you could retire, okay? So those are your options. And the reason that people are choosing Mauritius in these large numbers quietly behind the scenes is that it is number 1 for doing business in Africa. This isn't like some type of just campaign or something I'm just saying out there. This is a statistic that you can look up because we are the financial hub of Africa, quite frankly. Most people don't know that because here's the thing with real wealth. Real wealth moves quietly. It's not super loud. It's not super bougie. It's not super just overboard because real wealth wants to retain that wealth. Real wealth does not want to attract too much attention. And so that's kind of the vibe over here in Mauritius. It's not just outwardly too pushy. It's not super corrupt. It's just things just move smoothly because this is where people are going to invest their money. Not just people, but corporations. Microsoft, Deloitte, which by the way, Deloitte is a top 4 consulting firm that has a huge base outside here in Mauritius. Uber has just entered the market here. So these are things that you want to be aware of. Where are companies leaving Africa? Then where are companies moving to? And then what are the requirements for you specifically in your situation as somebody that's over 50, as somebody that's a self-employed entrepreneur, as somebody that has a family that's with them, where it's like, hey, I don't want to go all over the place in Africa because traveling to different countries in Africa is just not feasible. It's not like Europe or Asia where you're going to do a $50 plane ticket, take a train over here real quick for $30 to $80. It is not like that on the continent. Your flights over here are going to run you at least $200+ if you're moving to the right places. Mauritius, moving and flying to South Africa. South Africa, you could fly to Ghana for around the same rates. But if you're going from like Rwanda to Tanzania, oh, don't even try it, honey, okay? If you're going from Kenya to Mozambique, don't even try it, okay? Oh, and here's a little PS on Mauritius. Remember, their retirement permit for ages 50 and older that have $2,000 in their pension that they want to convert over to a Mauritian bank, it is literally the lowest barrier retirement visa on the continent of Africa as a whole. Well, let's go fly over to West Africa for a moment, because Ghana, under John Mahama, the new president, I hope I've not butchered his name, he's keeping up with what the previous presidents have done. He is keeping up, okay? He has announced that he is extending the return of the African diaspora by giving citizenship still. But guess what he also did? He did something that nobody has done before. The general minimum capital requirement for a wholly foreign-owned enterprise and joint enterprises has been removed under the new JIPA Act, GIPA. Trading companies remain subject to higher numbers. And I want to break this down. We went over this in the State of the Diaspora Business Intel. You have 48 hours to go ahead and sign up for the next one that occurs this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, there's 10 slots available. But we went over this because it's specifically for service-based businesses. So for all of the folks that are out there, like, do a product-based business, get a brick and mortar. They want service-based businesses. Real entrepreneurs, real wealth strategists, real economists understand that the service-based industry can be the fundamental foundation for much of your economy. Mauritius thinks the same way. When I say service-based, the best example that I can give you, out here in Mauritius, it's very standard to have a pool company small business working with a landlord, working with a property manager to service you, the consumer. These are also your law firms, your project management service-based businesses, your virtual assistant agencies, anything that is a service that you provide to someone that's not a physical curtain, not a physical shampoo product, nothing like that. These are like high-tier experts, consultants coming in, starting businesses or corporations. So the next logical question you may ask is, why would Ghana only do that for service providers and not product-based businesses? This is telling you something. One of the biggest myths that I see as an entrepreneur of 10 years who has been abroad for 6 of those 10 years, most people think wrongly about entrepreneurship. The closest thing they know to business is, okay, let me open a cafe and give this coffee product. Let me open this and flip burgers to somebody. That's a business. Business is a very generic term. Business is a whole umbrella. You have service, you have products, you have e-commerce, you have software as a service, you have all these different entities that you can choose and product types you can choose. And Ghana understands that they have been watching countries like Mauritius and Seychelles, who are predominantly service-based economies. They bring the bulk of the capital in, because at the end of the day, I can only scale up a shea butter product so much. Even if it's a company that's doing $1 million, I can only scale that up so much because it's a low ticket offer. But if I have high ticket and I'm a marketing agency, if I have high ticket and I'm an accounting firm, if I'm a high ticket and I have different lawyers and accountants and business to business services and different corporate consultants that come in, then you can charge thousands and thousands of dollars for that service and contribute to the economy in a much bigger and more sophisticated way. Now, there's nothing wrong with products. You obviously need products, but Ghana's like, hey, the best folks on the continent right now are showing that they want service providers. They're becoming financial service hubs for Africa. Ghana said, let's do the same. Let's break down this minimum capital investment requirement. So literally, there is no threshold for Ghana if you are a service provider, wholly foreign owned or a joint venture. You can do either one. You can't always do this in East Africa. Tanzania and Kenya actually do not allow you to do it as easily as Ghana does right now. I want that to be very, very clear, because when you're making these decisions and you're like, I just want to do it because of cultural fit or because I saw it online or because people are dancing, that's cool and all, but like, we're not worried about dancing over here. We're worried about longevity. Can I actually get residency for 5 to 10 years? Does this fit my service-based business? Can I invest properly and not lose tens and thousands of dollars? Because the other thing with products is they have inventory that you may lose if you do not know how to bring that product to the marketplace. Have a round of applause for Ghana. Like, clap for Ghana in the comments. Like, tag somebody in Ghana, because they're doing it. They are really doing it out here. Ghana remittances have hit a high record. Diaspora remittances to Ghana reached a record of 6.5 billion with a B in 2024, much of it flowing into property and small businesses, which is proof the diaspora already has extreme value, and the diaspora to Ghana pipeline is only extending and massively growing. Shout out to africancarriers.com/Ghana/guide. Okay, now let's fly on over to East Africa, because East Africa does have a true gem, and it's not necessarily Kenya or Tanzania. The gem of East Africa is actually Rwanda. Now, Rwanda is one that I continuously come back to because I will be investing in Rwanda in the next 5 to 10 years. Absolutely. Especially because we are a large family with 6 children. I can see us helping our children to start their businesses there and to have an entity there, because Rwanda's development board actually allows you to, if you wanted to right now, in as little as 24 hours, register your company online with no physical presence required. This is huge. You cannot even do this in most of the countries that I've just named. Mauritius and Ghana can be a little bit more difficult for that because you need to be in country to do a lot of these things. Now, you can get your premium digital nomad visa online in America. We've seen people be able to do that. But Rwanda, they're taking it a step further. They're saying your business entity, whether you're doing the consulting visa, the freelance visa, another type of service-based visa, you can do it online. And the World Bank ranks Rwanda 38th globally and second in Africa, only second to Mauritius, Africa, for ease of doing business. Shout out to the Rwanda EBC website for that information. This is pivotal. Rwanda has expressed that they want to be the Singapore of Africa. You may say, why Singapore? Why would they just throw that out there? Well, if you were to study geopolitics and global macroeconomics, you would know that Singapore just 30 years ago wasn't really doing much, but they are the finance hub right now of Asia and the world. Like, entrepreneurs go to market in Singapore, online business owners, agency owners, retention firms, huge consultants and corporations go to Singapore because they know the clientele is high caliber and they can grow their business on a global front. Because yeah, it's great to grow your business in America, but what if I could do business with somebody that's from Singapore, from France, from Russia, from South Korea, from Japan, right? This opens the door so much more than just doing business with somebody from Ohio, from Florida, from Massachusetts, things of that nature. Our business has also worked with corporations that are actually inside of Israel. So that's actually super cool as well. But this is what we're talking about inside the State of the Diaspora Business Intel. So if this 12-minute video has taught you more than you have heard on YouTube in the last 60 days, oh, ma'am, sir, go ahead, check that link in the description. Get your ticket. It's $100 for your investment. And shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure for 2026 and 2027, you are creating a home base in one of these 3 countries. These should be the only countries that you have a home base in. Then you can travel and visit South Africa. Then you can get a second residency in Kenya. Then you can get something going on if you want to visit Nigeria. But if these 3 are not on your list, you're missing out on the best ones on the continent that there are currently to date.